Well, let's hear from Ojukwu himself, what Ojukwu actually said. In this case, what he wrote. And when he wrote it, he sent it to a man called Victor Banjo. In his letter to Victor Banjo, we see something very interesting. There's a book that I would recommend. The book is called A Break in the Silence. I actually got it a few weeks ago. I think it's a very, 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 very good book. A Break in the Silence, Lieutenant Colonel Victor Adebukola Banjo by Adeton Ogunsheye. What she did was to publish the letter that Ojukwu wrote to Victor Banjo. My dear Victor, this is Lieutenant Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu writing. My dear Victor, for some time now, you and I have been discussing the circumstances that have led to the current and inevitable disintegration of what was the Federation of Nigeria. We have been fully convinced that the aim of the Hausa-Fulani complex has ever been and will ever remain the total domination of every other part of what was known as the Federation of Nigeria. It is impossible to forget that the crisis which led to the army takeover in January 1966, the coup of the northern soldiers led by Gowon. This man is a bad person. He called what happened in January 1966 army takeover. Army takeover located in January 1966, but northern soldiers takeover located in July 1966. That means you're not even acknowledging the fact that the January coup was actually an Igbo coup, and it was. Just saying, it was. It was not because of the people who planned it, but because of how it was executed. And just in case you've never been here, you've never heard me say it, we use 3 criteria to judge if that stuff was tribal: the planners, the victims, and the beneficiaries. The planners were mostly Igbos, but guess what? That's not really a problem because it wasn't their fault. They had the majority number of officers, right, in the army at the time, so it's inevitable, so it's natural. So you can't use that to judge that it was an Igbo coup. However, the victims, all of them, none of them was from the southeast or from the eastern region. Full stop. None. Even Arthur Negbe that they always shout about is from the Midwest. And he was not penned down to be unalived. He was only unalived because he did not drop the key to the armory. Right? So the victims were everyone but Igbo, and the beneficiaries were Igbo and no others, right? That really benefited from the coup. Therefore, it was an Igbo coup. But guess what? This man did not mention that. I just went straight to saying, it is impossible to forget that the crisis which led to the army takeover in January 1966, the coup